Welcome to a jaw-dropping episode of Chit Talk. Get ready for a culinary catastrophe so bad. Expect charred wreckage, claims of genius that'll make you roll your eyes, and a parade of foul language that could sink a ship. So, grab your snacks, if you dare, and prepare for a wild ride through this meaty madness. Enjoy the chaos.
For cooking meat. From now on, I'll only do it like this. Start by adding an 800-gram piece of beef with shallow cuts to a skillet over medium to low heat filled with hot vegetable oil, and fry this meat until both sides are seared. This is the right point. Now, remove the meat from the skillet and cut it into cubes, just like I'm doing.
What are you
Next, in a large pan over medium to low heat, add 150 grams of unsalted butter and stir until fully melted. When that happens, add all the beef cubes and fry them until golden brown. This is the right point. Remove all the meat from the heat and set aside. Cubes and fry them until golden brown. This is the right point. Remove all the meat from the heat and set aside. Take this time to share this video and write in the comment section the name of the city from which you're watching it, and we'll make sure to leave a heart, especially for you. Oh, and thanks for sharing this video.
Noseville.
In the same pan, add 1 medium onion cut into slices, 1 red bell pepper cut into smaller pieces.
Okay, so I just want to... Okay, so he used butter, right?
Butter.
So he used butter, and you saw that it took a while for him to cook this virtually raw beef.
What happens to butter when you cook it for that long?
It burns, my guy.
Very badly.
That's this black flecks, which I don't know if you noticed. But like, you see that around this?
We're not talking prawn.
Like, I can smell this. My mind smells it. It's the worst.
What do you think those onions and peppers taste like?
This is my problem with like these kinds of things, right? Like this dipshit just said, like, do this, it's good, and tell people to do this, it's good. I'm like, I just want to go back. I just want to go back.
Yeah, of course.
So got this. I just want.
First off, I'm trying to figure out, like, what is this? This is blade roast. This is
I don't know. It's just not right. So.
I don't know what it is.
A guy here has this pan, presumably with like oil. That's
like you're.
Okay, let's assume it's. I don't know. I don't care about the temperature. It's riding.
No.
So
the sear on the other side of it.
He doesn't. This is when he puts it in raw. So I want to point 2 things out. One, it's a really shallow pan, but it's shallow in a weird way, and the roast is going to sit awkwardly in the pan, which is going to force it to curl. What he should have done is he should have seared the cubed side first.
If you're going to cube it like that.
That said, this is so weird. Like, I don't understand why he scored this at all. It would have been just way easier if he just took the roast and seared the motherfucker. Cleaned it.
Brown and go down, baby.
And I would also argue this. If he had cut this piece of meat in half, he'd still be able to do what he was trying to do, and it would still work, and it would work better.
Yes.
But I digress. So even with this weird, janky technique, I would argue that I would go with the cube side down first. I would never do this, by the way. This is so fucking stupid, but...
Never in my life.
So you get... I'm gonna try to stop it, start it, and sort of point out how bad.
A genius trick for cooking meat. From now on,
let's just get this clear now. This is not a genius anything. It's fucking dumb. So okay, so
I'll only do it like this. Start by adding an 800-gram piece of beef.
I just want to point out that's not like I just put that in and this is what it is. So he's given us no amount of understanding of why I'm flipping this at this point. Like as the person
dreaming on that sense.
No one has said, hey. So when it starts to do this, you should turn it over. It's just, fucking hot. It doesn't even say what the temperature of the oil is. I see there's a recipe in the comments, like blah, blah, blah. No one's checking the recipe. Just seriously, why would I watch the video if I have to read something?
beef with shallow cuts
So
to a
now
skillet.
he's flipped it, right? Okay, so something I'd like to point out. He scored it, yeah?
Look
But
at this.
because of his scoring, it's caused it to curl because now the piece of meat has all this space up here, and it's like, oh, wicked! I'm just gonna do this, and you can see it. I'm using my
With
finger.
no sear.
You can see this dip right here, right? Like it's already starting to crescent. There's some problems here. One, because it's doing this crescenting thing, it's not evenly distributing the meat on the bottom of the pan. You'll see that, like,
No, the entirety of it.
the oil will start to bow inward because now it's got all this space, which means the outside curly bits are just going to start to singe to the side of the pan, right?
Skillet over medium
See?
to
How
low
like
heat
there's like a
filled with
big
hot
thing
vegetable oil,
not
and fry this
cooked.
meat until both sides are
You've
seared.
essentially steamed and
This
boiled
is the
your
right
own
point.
fucking
Just
steak.
so okay, so now we've done this. There's no sear on this, by the way. I
Nothing.
just want everybody to notice that there's really no sear on this because
It's a
he's not searing
purposeless
anything.
fucking cooking technique.
He's not searing anything. He's frying or boiling it essentially because by that time, like the oil is now cold, right? So you put this cold brick of meat in the in the middle of hot oil. The hot oil doesn't have magic powers. It cools down. So now it's sitting there cooling down and trying to catch up, and the temperature of the meat is still cold. It's ginormous, and it's just sitting in this like really shallow pond. Then he flips it over to the cold side. The cold side of the meat now is the top. So he's gonna flip it, and then yay.
Still gonna
He
be
does all this
cold.
stuff, and then here's what I don't understand. Then he does this.
Cuts it.
Now
Cutting
remove
it
the
out.
meat.
What? Why? Why did we go through the exercise of doing this janky cube shit? If you
The
just
first
did
two
it
steps,
down,
completely unnecessary.
From the skillet and cut it into cubes, just like I'm doing. Next, in a large pan.
Okay, so why are the first two
Burn
steps
butter.
so obsolete? Well, let's be honest. He just
Right here.
he just ruined it. So why you were gonna do this? Cube the meat raw, right? Skip that entire janky vegetable oil bullshit. And then we're gonna skip to this fuck show and watch him overcook. Now I'm just gonna put this out there. If you really wanted to do this, you would probably be further ahead using like a wider pan and using some butter that's like in a certain inch. And then you're gonna go like batch of cubes by batch of cubes, and you're gonna box sear it, and you're gonna be prepared to flip your butter at least once, if not more. This guy's got a shit ton of meat. I don't know who the fuck he's cooking for. But watch what happens to this meat as a result of this. Oh, it's crime. It's fucking horrible. He's also on an induction burner. Something I'd like to point out: induction burners hold temperature perfectly. Like you can set that temp. It's the only thing it's good for is sauces. But the problem is, in order to fry something, you have to heat that thing up a lot. And
We talked about this last episode.
He's
100%. It's great for simple syrup. Great for caramels. It's great for a lot of things.
Smoke point's a thing. You'll see it start to smoke, and that's bad.
Yeah.
Pan over medium to low heat. Add 150 grams of unsalted butter and stir until fully melted. When that happens, add all the beef cubes and fry. Remove all the meat.
Sorry, I flipped that. Like, look at how much meat is here. Like, use your brain box.
So here, exactly, how much meat?
How much meat's touching the heat source in this goofy bowl thing?
You have completely stuffed this to a point of steaming where you have no choice but to burn said butter.
And you're boiling your meat essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be like if you wanted to braise this product, which by the way is the best way to do what he's doing, just braise them all. You want to, hey, my guy, you want to cube it up, right? And you want to be like, yeah, I want to get a sear and shit, and then I'll hey man, be a little French, toss that shit in some flour and sear it up.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
Absolutely. You start with what though?
You braise it after that, and you just
you start with oil. You can finish with butter after if you really want to, but it's kind of unnecessary. But like a nice olive oil.
I'm a canola oil guy. There's no such thing as nice olive oil in our country. It's
Well, you could use canola just the same. I'm just saying your smoking point when it comes to butter is far
yeah, but
less superior
I'm
than
not doing this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing this.
I'm
I'm
not
not
doing this.
I'm not eating a bowl. It's not fucking post World War II here. I'm not worried. I'm not gonna
No,
boil my food. But this is just
Fry them
this is
until
boiling your
golden
food.
brown.
fry them till golden brown.
This is the right point.
That's not
Burnt ass butter.
no, that's not an actual cooking temperature.
No,
Golden
that's well
brown
above.
is
You're
not.
looking at the core of the earth right
Look
now,
at this shit.
which he's still
It's
gonna use.
black, my friend. That shit is
That's
black.
jerky.
It's that the butter is black. I can smell it. It is smoke. Look at that bubbling. Look at this.
Remove all the meat from the heat and set aside.
Burnt tasting shit, overcooked slop monster that you just made. Somebody eat this?
Take this time to share this video and write in the comment section the name of the city from which you're watching it, and we'll make sure to leave a heart, especially for you. Oh, and thanks for sharing this video.
Look at that. And you're gonna keep using it. Like this is magically terrible. Look at that. That's
you're
the
gonna do it
milk
again.
fats that have burnt. That's just burned. That tastes like you
Just
know what that
sitting
tastes like? That tastes like sadness. It tastes like sad. That's the exact taste of sadness.
In the same
tastes
pan,
like
add 1 medium onion cut into slices,
Mm.
1 red bell pepper cut into smaller pieces, and
Ooh.
saute until the onion wilts. Have
I
you
like the
got
comments
that
on the
recipe
site.
app? It's already
They're
available.
pretty much exactly what we're talking about. So the first comment on the top is, what was the point of the first step? Why not just start with the second step, frying it in the butter? Stop it. And then I hope you mean olive or avocado oil? No, he said butter. Vegetable oil is a very
I don't care about
unhealthy.
C's comment. She can shut it. Like, yes, you're incredibly correct, but I'm pretty sure the like boiling the meat in the butter isn't your problem. You're not like that's unhealthy. No,
Yeah.
it's
Hazard, Kentucky.
vegetable oil. In fact, you know what? I will here. The only thing this person did correctly is the utilization of at least a vegetable oil when trying to fry. So why do the first step? My friend Robin Bangs
Yeah, I agree with you, bud.
with a Z, Robin, you're right. But if he combines
100%.
the second step with the first step and foregoes the butter, then we're not eating burnt garbage right now. Like there's that. He could have strained the shit after cooking a whole bunch of beef, which by the way, there's still a little bit of fat in there, so it's gonna like there's beef moisture is gonna corrupt this butter, and that's gonna burn too.
It's so much.
So
There's so many
gross.
options.
And we're not even like we're not done, dude. There's 3 minutes of this shit. I'm sorry I keep talking.
Available for download. With this app, you'll have access to all our recipes in the palm of your hands, and you'll get notified every time we upload a new recipe. In addition to all that, you'll also have access to an exclusive.
Hey, folks, stuff doesn't cook faster if you just fuck with it the whole time. Like let stuff settle. Stop fidgeting.
Let it cook.
Listen, when you see something in a recipe from back in the day that says whisk constantly. If it says stir occasionally, you occasionally stir it. This fucking having a seizure
area in which you can bookmark your favorite recipes. Go to the App Store or Play Store now, type that recipe, and download it.
Now we're gonna
Then add the meat again.
why?
Season with 1
How
teaspoon of
much more
garlic
can
powder,
you cook this weekend?
1 teaspoon of salt, a pinch of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, and mix to combine. Then add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce,
Mustard? No.
Why is it
No.
still bubbling?
From the visionary minds at Obey Inc., the same folks who brought you the revolutionary left-handed knife and the life-changing bacon stretcher, comes a groundbreaking leap in male grooming. Introducing Arctic Chud. Yes, Arctic Chud, the first in the Chud line of deodorants, designed for the modern man who demands more than just average freshness. With a scent so bold, it doesn't just mask odor, it obliterates it. Imagine walking into a room and having people stop, stare, and whisper, "Who is that guy?" Spoiler alert, it's you, rocking the swagger of Arctic Chud. So why settle for ordinary when you can unleash your inner Chud? Embrace the chill of Arctic Chud and let the world melt away, one confident stride at a time. Because remember, in the battle against odor, it's not just a fight, it's an adventure. Get yours today. Arctic Chud, where freshness meets legendary.
Still bubbling.
No,
Why is it still bubbling? There's so much wrong with
it's
this.
still bubbling, and
Oh,
we're adding just fucking pure yellow
sugar
mustard.
now. So it's like we're just throwing. Tell me, ketchup's coming.
2 tablespoons of
Relish,
mustard,
fucking whatever you want. Make a hot dog out of
100
it and fuck
milliliters
off.
of water. Mix everything together once more. Cover the pan and let everything cook for another 15 minutes.
Oh my God! Why? Just praise the meat.
What flavor profile
Are
is
we
pure
again?
yellow mustard gonna really add to anything if you're only gonna cook it for
It's
15
probably,
minutes after this?
listen, it's probably much better than the burnt butter taste that everything is now just saturated in.
Well,
The mustard might give it.
beat the pure butter.
See, this is the worst thing I've seen in a long time. Oh my God, I want death on me right
Let's
now.
keep looking at.
Oh,
Yeah. Am I the only one that
After
hates
this time has
when we
passed,
combined imperial and metric messenger?
listen, okay,
You ever-
let me just put this out there. I'm guilty of this too. Every chef is, especially Canadian chefs. All right, we make fun of America because you guys don't acclimatize to the entire universe, but we then use your measurement when it comes to everything. Like I do
Yeah, we
pounds.
kind of have to.
I don't do grams and kilograms. I hate that shit. I convert it. I outright say
Teaspoon,
like,
tablespoon. I'll do an
yeah,
ounce.
I usually go like this much.
Yeah,
I actually measured it
it's
once, so I actually
yeah,
have a measurement and a cost.
exactly. It's here
Yeah, let's
precisely.
read some more of these fucking horrible comments. Why the metric? Yeah, yeah,
The
whatever.
comments are the best part. So basically, fried twice and overcooked, and there was no juice left, and it's probably hard too.
Yeah. How to destroy
You're
a
not wrong.
perfectly good piece of beef? Agreed. Over mashed potatoes, rice would be good. Chris, no. This is going to be terrible. And again, I just want to point out there's cornstarch going into this. By the way, I called this earlier. I was like cornstarch. Because
A nice little slurry.
of course, because we've
Well, it's
now
gluten free at this point.
again, you could have just like I hate to say this, you could have just made stew, which is what you're. This is
Kind of
taking a
doing.
lot longer, and it's going to result in horrible taste than just making stew. You can braise meat, folks. You can sear it first.
You can still use cornstarch at the beginning instead of flour. It's not going to hurt
Or
you.
you can just grow up and you can do the 2 parts separately if you really wanted to. You can take your
Yeah.
you shouldn't, but you should do it this way. Here's what you do. It's a fun fact. You take your meat, you sear it in a pan. It takes as long as it takes to sear the meat. Cube it first or buy it cubed. Weirdly enough, just buy it cubed. You lazy fucks. You know you don't want to do this. This is supposed to be easy, right? Go to the store, buy cubed beef, right? Get a pan. Look at how much beef you have in ratio to your pan. Don't crowd the pan. Use some fucking oil like canola. Toss your shit with some salt and pepper.
Space.
And then you put it in a pan at a medium high heat. So that if
Mhm.
you put oil in it, there's a little bit of that haziness. You're like, ooh, hazy. It's like a beach. And you
Crazy.
sear the stuff on all of their sides. And then once you're done that, you're going to look at the pan, and the pan is going to have a whole bunch of scorch marks on it. So
We
you're
call
going to
that
take
frog.
your fucking pan and you're going to scrape it. You lazy shit. Because you're not going to deglaze the pan because you don't understand that and you're lazy. So just scrape the pan and restart and do it again. This is called just not sucking. All right. When you're done all that, you take a little bit of fucking, hey, get some fucking beef stock in a fucking can. I don't give a shit. Put the beef in the beef stock, throw some vegetables, whatever the flavor profiling you're doing, rough chop them. You don't even have to be a ninja. Just janky
You
throw
don't
it
have to peel your
all in a fucking,
carrots. Who gives a
throw it
shit?
throw it in a goddamn fucking baking pan, put some
Yo,
fucking tin foil on it, throw it in the oven, 300, and check it.
every once in a while.
Hour, just check it. And when you see that it's starting to tenderize, because you'll rotate it and shit, when you're happy with that, you take it out. And then you take the watery stuff that now has all this yummy, yummy, and you make better versions of the fucking shit that's in it.
Yummy.
Chop it up, you stick it in a little pan, you make your little stupid pan face, and then you can make a little roux with your stupid pan face and saute your shit in your roux. And then you throw the liquid that you had with the beef that tastes good and isn't burnt butter shit, and you make a sauce. You fucking
Listen,
eat
it costs $6 at the LCBO or whatever ABC or whatever store it is to buy a small bottle of red wine. Like those little tasters that you see the drunks drinking while they're walking down the street.
that. You have beer in your house, yes? You want to be
Beer
special?
works just the same.
Use beer. I just use it as a base for a little
Yeah,
bit. It's
beer's
not
delightful.
this is the thing. You can't nothing is simple if it's good. If you want it good, it's not simple. It's like
Levels.
it can be like you can make it complicated. But this is not cheating. This is a war crime.
Dissolve 1 tablespoon of
Boiling.
cornstarch in 50 milliliters of water. Add this mixture to the pan.
Not a big fan of cornstarch flurries. Just throwing that out there. If you're gonna use a stabilizer, just make fucking roux. And you can do this, by the way, with a roux. All you do is you see how the cornstarch guys like. Doo, 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 doo. All right, if you're lazy, which you probably are, you take some butter, you stick it in a little bowl, stick it in your microwave, get it to the point where it melts. Then you take some flour and you whisk in the flour. All right, not tight, chalky, kind of loose. And you do exactly what cornstarch monkey boy here just did.
It'll start to kind of smell like a toasted almond when you know you're at the right spot.
Yeah, it's nutty. You want that smell. It's good.
Realistically, you should be doing this
This
beforehand,
guy
but
probably smelled that in the early stages while he was, burning his butter. There's a point where it's like popcorn. You're like, ooh, popcorn. That's where it needs to be. Then it starts to smell like burnt popcorn, and that's where it's not supposed to be. Burnt popcorn,
Mhm.
good popcorn, good. If you salivate and you're like, I want to go watch a movie now, then you've got brown butter in your hat.
You've got the right point.
So this fuckface is now just boiling everything. By the way, all of this could have he didn't have to add the meat again. He didn't. He could have done it at the end. He could have just held it. But
Well, it depends on if you're like actually trying to braise this off. Because at this point, I feel like that feels tougher than fucking.
It's shoe leather. I don't think we're gonna watch somebody eat this shit.
It's inedible. Like it's.
And mix everything for another 3 minutes. I hope you're enjoying the recipe.
No.
Share it with your friends.
Your mouth.
By doing so, you'll be helping us go even further. This is the right point. Finally, turn off the heat. Add parsley and green onion to taste.
To taste?
And mix once more to combine.
I'm sorry, what? What? Parsley and green onion to fucking taste?
To taste.
Okay. Listen. You can tell somebody doesn't know fuck all. Fuck all. When
You
they
season to taste with salt and pepper.
Or season to taste with other things. You can do it with like acids like lime juice, lemon juice, or
Apple cider vinegar, rice wine vinegar, any of those things.
But you don't use the words "to taste" at the end of all ads of ingredients. You do it
Or are we
based in
done?
this case, you would be if you wanted to make it loosey-goosey, you'd say, like, add as much or as little as you enjoy,
How
right?
much parsley do you like?
There's
We'll
nothing
just do
in
it
there.
to
I don't
taste.
understand these measurements. It's like a little fucking teaspoon
Yeah.
of this shit. It'll
I'm gonna sit here at
resonate.
a table and be like, sprinkle a little bit.
Well,
Do you
I
like
don't see
that?
this guy licking his fucking spoon right now to taste, you fucking
I
dipshit.
gotta see this plate.
No.
Come on.
This is the
You'll
right
boil
point.
it.
That recipe is ready. You may now serve and enjoy it. I hope you liked this recipe. Now I'll head to the comment section and leave a heart to everyone who left the name of their city. See you next recipe. Bye-bye.
But Ellis I love what I saw. So we got that. We got one person that loves it.
What is their fixation with the vegetable oil? That was the good part. That made sense. I hate to say it. Really?
I didn't
You
see
actually-
vegetable oil at any point.
That was the first part when he was boiling, like fry boiling.
I thought it was straight butter.
No, it was after. There's the second cook. He cooks this meat
Okay,
like
okay.
4 times.
Way too much oil. All the food looks good. No, it doesn't. Shut up.
No, it doesn't, Mark.
None of it looks good.
Let's see if there's more criminality.
If you liked what you heard, like and subscribe to the channel. Take a moment to help 2 chefs get right. They need it.